So I have this new topology now. I labeled each department with its respective VLAN from VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. I'll start first with switch 1, which is a layer 3 switch. I'll configure VLAN 10 and 20. So VLAN 10, which is for IT, and VLAN 20 for servers. I'll add the ports to the respective VLANs. So interface E0/0. Let's make it an access port and add it to the VLAN 10. Same thing for interface E0/1, and they'll add it to VLAN 20. Now I will configure trunk ports, and they have interface E1/1. So let's make it a trunk port. So switch port, trunk. Let's define the encapsulation method, which with button queue. I'll make it trunk port. I will add another VLAN, which is VLAN 99, and make it a native VLAN. I'll go back to interface E1/1 and add the native VLAN, switch port rank native VLAN 99. And also I will add only the VLANs 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, and 99, of course, to pass through the trunk port just for security purposes. So switch port rank allowed VLANs 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 99. Okay. So with this done, I finished configuring switch 1. I will go to switch 2 and do the same configuration. In switch 2, I will configure VLAN 30 and 40, but I will allow all the VLANs again, just to allow all the VLANs to communicate to each other through this switch. So the first VLAN is VLAN 30, which is for sale. And VLAN 40 for finance. And also the VLAN 99 as a native VLAN. Let's add the ports to the respective VLANs. So interface E0/0 is for sale. And just for saving some time, I have the configuration already made, so I just will copy paste it. Okay. And the second interface is interface 0/1 is for VLAN 40. Okay, and also I will configure the trunk port. For the interface E1/1 and E2/2. So this is for interface E1/1. Okay, I have a small problem here. Okay, so just here I need to add trunk. So interface A1/1, switch port trunk, native VLAN 99, and also allowed VLANs are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 99. I do the same for interface E2/2. Let's define the encapsulation mode and make it a trunk port. Switch port trunk, native VLAN is 99, and allowed VLANs in the same VLANs. Okay, now I will go to switch 3 and do the same configuration for VLAN 30 and VLAN 50. Let's configure the three VLANs. I will configure interface 0/0 and 0/1 for VLAN 30 and VLAN 50. And also interface E2/2 as a trunk port, but I will only allow VLAN 30, 50, and 99 just for security purposes, because that will be an edge switch. So I don't need VLAN 10 and 20 to be allowed on this switch. So with that done, I finished configuring switch 1, 2, and 3. Let's just check the configurations. So on switch 1, we have the three VLANs on switch 1. And I will need also to add VLAN 30, 40, and 50, because it will be an layer 3 switch. So I need all VLANs to be created on this switch so they can talk to each other. So I need VLAN 30 and 40, and also VLAN 50. Let's check again. Okay. Let's check the trunk ports. Okay, the trunk port is configured. I have the native VLAN as 99. All the VLANs are allowed. Okay, let's check switch 2. Also on switch 2, I need to configure to add VLAN 10, 20, and 50. So VLAN 10, 20, and 30, and 50, sorry. Let's check. Okay, I have the three VLAN, all the VLANs. And for the trunk ports, both trunks have VLAN 99 as native VLAN, and all the VLANs are allowed through the trunk port. For switch 3, I have the three VLANs configured. And for the trunk ports, it's also configured with the VLAN 99 as native VLAN, and the three VLANs are allowed through the trunk ports. So with that, all the switches configuration is done. I will head to the DHCP server. I will configure a static IP address and also configure an IP route because I'm using a Cisco router as DHCP for this project. Also, I will configure some DHCP pools with some excluded addresses. Okay, so on the DHCP, let's check the IP address. So I don't have any IP address configured yet. So I will head to interface F0/0 and configure IP address of 10.0.20.100 with a subnet mask of /20. And also I will configure an IP route, a default IP route, and make the next hop 10.0.20.254 that I will configure later on layer 3 switch. Okay, let's do DHCP configuration. First of all, I will do some excluded IP addresses. The first one is the DHCP server address, which is 10.0.20.100, and also from 1 to 10. I will do the same for all the VLANs. So from VLAN 10, 30, 40, 50, and 99. Okay. Now I will configure DHCP pools. So for the first pool, I'll name it VLAN 10. And the network will be 10.0.10.0 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. I will add a default router to each VLAN. For VLAN 10, it will be 10.0.10.254. So all the default routers will end with 254 for all VLANs. So I'll just copy paste the rest of the configuration. So as you see, I have pools for VLAN 20, 30, 40, 50, and 99. So with that, I finished configuring the DHCP. Let's go back to switch 1 and finish the configuration of the SVIs and also configure the IP helper. So let's configure the interface VLANs. First of all, let's configure IP routing. So the switch 1 can route packets from different VLANs. So the first VLAN interface VLAN 10. The IP address will be 10.0.10.254 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. I'll do the same for the rest of the VLANs. For VLAN 10, 20, 30, 50, and 99. As I said, the last octet will be 254, the IP address of the VLAN interfaces. Now let's configure the IP helper for all the VLANs. So for each VLAN, I configured an IP helper address with the IP address of the DHCP server. So any PC from any VLAN requests an IP address. The switch one will take that broadcast packet and make it a unicast packet and send it to the DHCP server and send back the reply to that PC to get an IP address. So now it's time to check our configuration and see if everything is working good. Let me just shut down the interface on the DHCP and bring it back again. Just sometimes the GNS3 have some problems with that. Okay, and I do the same for switch one. So for interface is 0/1 and E1/1. Okay, now let's go to the PCs and see if they can get an IP address from the DHCP. I start with the IT one. It has no IP address, no default gateway. So let's request IP address. Try again. Okay, we see that the ITPC got an IP address from the DHCP, which is 10.0.10.11, because what we had that excluded IP addresses for the range from 10.0.10.1 to 10.0.10.10. So the first IP address is .11 that the ITPC got. Let's go to cell 2, which is on VLAN 30. It has no IP address. Let's see. Okay. So the cell 2 PC had an IP address of 10.0.30.11. Start with 11 again. For the finance PC, which is on VLAN 40, it has no IP address. It's got an IP address of 10.0.40.11 with a default gateway of 254. PC cell 3, which is on the third floor, it has no IP address when it is on VLAN 30. It's got an IP address of 10.0.30.12, which is the second IP address after cell 2 PC. And finally, the HR PC, no IP address. Let's check. And the HRPC as well, it got an IP address of 10.0.50.11 with a default gateway of 10.0.50.254. Okay, now the last thing to do is to check the connectivity between all the PCs in all departments. So I do that using the ITPC. So let's ping this DHCP server first, which is obvious because we got an IP address from it. Second one is cell 2 PC, which is on VLAN 30, not 11. Okay, it works. And the finance 2 PC, which is on VLAN 40, not 11. Okay. And cell 3, sorry, which is on VLAN 30, which is the same VLAN. We have connectivity. And finally, the HRPC, which is on VLAN 50, not 11. And we have connectivity. And there you have it, a complete network transformation. We have successfully segmented our flat, vulnerable network into a secure, efficient, and scalable infrastructure using VLANs. Thank you for watching and see you in the next project.